Help! I'm panicking about the coronavirus. What do I do? Stay tuned. Well, the coronavirus is officially here, and if you don't know someone who has already contracted it, you probably will soon. I've already had a couple of clients who have been personally affected, at least indirectly, by the virus. Their family and friends are coming down with these horrible flu-like symptoms, and they're ending up in quarantine. And from what I'm hearing, doctors are sending most of these people home to pretty much wait it out in isolation and only return to the hospital if severe respiratory symptoms develop. But how scary is that? Honestly, I felt for a couple of weeks now like we've all just been hiding in our homes waiting for the zombies to show up. The streets are quiet, the shelves in the stores are empty, and our eyes widen at the first sound of anybody clearing their throats. This has been an incredibly stressful time in all our lives, and if we're not careful, our mental health can suffer tremendously. All of us are enduring this moderate level of constant stress, anxiety about the future, worries about our jobs and our finances, and of course, our health and the well-being of our loved ones. Many of us are walking around like ticking time bombs, just waiting to go off on somebody. And some of you have probably already exploded several times in the past few weeks. But there's a few things I want to talk to you today about that you can do to decrease your stress level in these uncertain times. Number one, limit your media exposure. There's something in psychology called availability bias, which basically means we're more likely to give weight to those events we can immediately recall. So this nonstop cycle of negative information doesn't help with that. The more negative things we read, the more negative we hear, the more negative we notice, the more we interpret that in a threatening way. When you pull up your Facebook feed and see people in the store fighting over toilet paper, the first time you might laugh about it. But as you see that more and more, you start to feel this urgency to get yourself some toilet paper because it's obvious that people are scrambling to get it. But it's not true. It's an illusion of scarcity that's been created by all this negative media hype. I personally recommend that you limit your media exposure to only a few minutes every day and make sure your information is coming from a well-trusted source. Number two, control what you can. A big reason why people feel panicked right now is because they feel out of control. And who can blame them? For many of us, our lives are in chaos and we're sitting in isolation just waiting for God only knows what to happen to us. To counteract this feeling of helplessness, it's important to give yourself some sense of control. Do what you can to protect yourself and your family, which could include excellent hygiene and social distancing. Be proactive, stay in control in combating your anxiety by washing your hands frequently, by sanitizing high-touch surfaces, by avoiding sick people, and staying at home as much as possible. This is taking control back of what may seem like chaos. It certainly won't help your anxiety levels if you're not planning properly and having to interact with the public because you forgot something essential at the store. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Be prepared and do your very best to stay in control of what you can. Number three, do your best to connect with others, even if you have to do it virtually. Social distancing is good for our physical health, but it's not so good for our mental health. Maybe you have a friend or a neighbor or a family member who is particularly isolated during this crisis. One of the best things you can do for your own mental health and for theirs is to reach out. Maybe walk over to your neighbor's yard and talk to them through their window. Call your aging parents on the phone or video chat with a friend. We're blessed to live in a technological age where we can see the smile of a loved one, even if it's on the other side of the world. And that's always going to be helpful for both of us. Stay connected. Also, practice gratitude. It's ironic how the losses in life can reveal what's really important. Many people are panicking right now because of the loss of jobs or of finances. But have they really considered what they haven't lost? The husband or the wife asleep beside them in bed at night, the child playing with toys in the living room, even faithful Fido who doesn't have a clue about what's going on in the world right now. All of us have a lot to be thankful for. Now would be a great time to count your blessings, maybe even to start a gratitude journal. I challenged one of my clients just yesterday, who's now in a 21-day quarantine, to use the next 21 days in isolation as a self-improvement challenge. There are always positive ways that we can grow and change and be more thankful, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Sometimes we just have to look a little harder. And finally, seek virtual help from a mental health professional. I think most people would agree that the mental health crisis this virus is creating is just as bad, if not worse, than the actual physical crisis. The good news is the Louisiana Board of Professional Counselors recently rescinded most restrictions on teletherapy during the pandemic. That means most counselors can use teletherapy, either by video or by phone, to help their clients. And many insurance companies have also relaxed their restrictions on teletherapy during this time. So help is more accessible and available than it's ever been. If you're experiencing unmanageable stress levels, or maybe you just need someone to talk to during this time, reach out to a licensed counselor today who can help give you essential help during these uncertain times. I also would like to remind you that my friend and I, Brent Woods, LPC, from Woods Counseling Services, are hosting a Facebook Live video chat every Saturday at 9 a.m. for those of you who would like to join. We'll be giving mental health tips for keeping our sanity until all this is over, as well as taking questions right here live that you might have about your personal or our community mental health. Thanks for watching today, and feel free to reach out to us for all your counseling needs. We're going to get through this together. And until next time, remember, hope is unlimited here at Lake Area Counseling. I'm Joel Doherty, and I'll see you again soon.